What's up? It is I, your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the man with the worst rep at the RPG table, the OGGM. And I want to break a brief moment today based upon a recent experience to remind everyone again about some certain key elements that sometimes get forgotten in our excitement to play and run and be part of this amazing hobby. And the thing is, sometimes we forget we're not the only person at the table and that this isn't a place for us to just yell and scream and be chaotic and be stupid and embrace our inner 4-year-old, which is, of course, unbelievably important. But also remember that there are other people at the table. And you don't know what kind of week they've had. You don't know where they are physically or mentally. You don't know what kind of situation that they want from the game, which is why session 0 is again so unbelievably important, because it just gives the DM and the players those chances to establish what is okay and not okay at this table. Like for me, personally, if we're going to talk about triggers, which we know I've talked about before, yelling at a table with 6 other people in a small space where there are other people at the next table over who are also 6 people. So yelling in my face, sticking your hand in my face, being chaotic stupid just for the sake of being chaotic stupid and actively trying to get your character killed and my character killed, and then using the excuse, well, I'm a beginner, or this is what I saw on Critical Role. First off, no, you have never, ever seen that level of selfish stupidity at Critical Role. And B, I don't care if you are a beginner. Unless you're 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, you should have some general understanding of social norms. And if you were in a small space with a lot of people packed in, everybody wanting to be part of the social experiment that is Dungeons and Dragons, there is no excuse for yelling. There is no excuse for rudeness. There is no excuse for selfishness. There is no excuse for chaotic stupid. Chaotic good, chaotic evil, chaotic neutral does not mean insane. It does not mean crazy. It does not mean stupid. It does not mean walking up to the obvious threat that is way out of your CR and trying to pick a fight with it just for the sole purpose of trying to get yourself killed and trying to get the other players killed, which is obviously what you're doing. So there's no room for that. And it's something that I don't want to be a part of. I think I have, as a player, as a GM, as somebody who's been doing this for so long, and as somebody who's been through so much, I have earned the right to have a session 0, to have those rules allowed, and to be able to pick the game that I want to sit at and have the table with other people who want to tell that invested story without yelling or screaming. I mean, Lord knows I am infamous for being chaotic and being a quirky skill monster and sometimes running characters who are a little quirky and offbeat. But still, I give my other players support. I give my other players at the table respect. I give them the time to talk and shine. I don't feel the need to always be the center of attention, and I sure as fucking hell do not yell, do not scream, do not constantly have to be every 3 seconds go, look at me, look at me, look at me. Do not stick my face in other people's face. Do not touch other people's stuff without asking. But maybe that's just the way I was raised. And I don't know, and it's not my place to tell other people how to live their lives or behave at the table. That's the DM's job. And that's the job of the whole group to go, hey, this is cool, or no, this is not cool. So again, sometimes we need to remember that to step outside of our own little heads and understand that there are 4, 5, 6 other people at the table who want to do the same thing and want to be a part of the story. And that if we want that social group to work, we have to be a little bit more on the point of politeness. And as a DM, we have to establish right off the bat what the mode of our game is going to be. Is it going to be grim, dark, serious? Is it going to be typical Well, sometimes it's going to be light, sometimes it's going to be heavy D&D. Is it going to be over-the-top comic book goofiness? What are we running? What is the story we want to tell? And the players have to be agree with it. So today I walked out of a game, which is something I rarely do, and I always feel shitty about it. But it was the kind of experience where there was a lot of people, a lot of yelling. It was a very small space. There was a bunch of younger individuals who felt that by yelling, by screaming, by being stupid, by being chaotic, by just ignoring everything that I consider a semi-decent social grace, that they were playing the game. And this went on for like 10, 20 minutes, and I just felt, okay, this is guys good. Nothing I'm saying is changing this, and nothing the DM is saying is changing this. These people still just want to yell. They still just want to be stupid. They don't want to tell a story. They're fucking trying to pick fights with everything we walk into. I felt that if I didn't walk away, I was going to lose my temper and say or do something bad, because this was not the experience I was looking for. And I think that should be okay. I don't think the DM should feel insulted because I explained why I was leaving. I felt very bad about it, but I knew that I had had a bad week. I was in a bad way, health-wise, and just everything I was dealing with in my life. And I just really wanted a good, fun, simple, calm role-playing experience with a bunch of people got together to tell a cooperative story. I didn't want to have people yelling in my ears and sticking their hands in my face and touching my stuff and playing characters who are chaotic stupid and then playing the critical role card, which we know I have very, very specific feelings about people when they play the critical role card. Well, what I'm doing is okay because I saw it on critical role. No, you didn't. So, once again, just a moment to remind everybody that to take that extra second and remember this is a social experiment and we have to try and be better than our innately selfish selves because there are 4, 5, 6 other people at the table who want the same thing we do. We don't know who they are. We don't know where they are. We don't know what they've been through the week. We don't know what their triggers are. And we have to have that social contract that we want to play a cohesive, consistent, supportive story, not just punching each other in the face, yelling and screaming. That's not the game I'm looking for. It's not an experience I want to be a part of. I'd rather not play, but that's just me. I can't speak for other people. For other people, maybe that's exactly what you're looking for, which is, again, why Session 0 is so important. Establish those rules of what you are going to allow at your table from the very beginning and what the consequences are if they're ignored. And fuck, if somebody wants to be chaotic, stupid idiot and pick a fight with a CR monster that's way out of their league or pick a fight with other player characters, let them die. Because that's the only way sometimes these people are going to learn that there's no place for that behavior in Dungeons & Dragons. Or at least that's just my opinion, and as usual, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you have any insight into this issue, please comment down below. Otherwise, I will talk to you later, losers.